Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I know so many of you over on TikTok have been blowing up the comments asking for this, so today we're finally doing some customer reviews analysis for it. But before we dive into that, be sure to check out this exclusive discount available for it. You'll find it in the description and in the first comment under this video. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer starts by explaining a recent, frustrating experience with a much cheaper, off-brand display that was ultimately returned due to a host of issues, from poor color accuracy to non-functional HDR. The switch to this new monitor, however, proved that the old saying, "you get what you pay for," is especially true in this product category. Our reviewer was immediately blown away by the staggering difference in quality, describing the experience as a genuine game changer, particularly for visually rich titles. The visual experience is described as a world apart, with incredibly deep contrast and vibrant, accurate colors that showed no signs of the gradient banding that plagues lesser screens. High dynamic range was seamless and hassle-free, working perfectly with a simple toggle in the operating system. A surprising and welcome feature was the ability to run at the maximum refresh rate and full resolution with HDR enabled simultaneously, a combination that often requires compromise on other displays. Practical details also stood out, such as the intuitive on-screen menu controlled by a small joystick and a well-designed recessed area on the back that accommodated a standard VESA mount without needing any special spacers. While the praise is overwhelming, this client did note one minor design quibble with the rear cable management cover. The cutout for the cables is positioned in a way that can force an uncomfortably tight bend in thicker display cables, which they found a bit annoying during setup. However, they point out this is easily resolved by simply leaving the cosmetic panel off. This tiny issue does little to detract from an otherwise flawless experience. From the immersive curve that feels comfortable at various viewing distances to the buttery smooth gameplay, this monitor delivered on all fronts, genuinely impressing someone who admits they are not easily won over by new hardware and rarely leave positive feedback.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer notes that after several months of use, this gaming monitor has proven to be a massive upgrade in both price and performance. The leap to 1440p resolution combined with an incredibly high refresh rate is described as beautiful, and a welcome pairing for their powerful graphics card. Our reviewer feels they could never go back to a standard 1080p screen after experiencing this level of quality and precision. For gaming, the difference is apparently night and day. In fast-paced competitive titles, the fluidity is a very noticeable improvement over previous 144Hz and 60Hz displays. This model also supports features like HDR and G-Sync, which are nice additions. While the client found the HDR to function quite well, they personally choose not to use it due to general preferences with their computer's operating system. The on-screen menus are robust with plenty of options, and though there's a software alternative for making adjustments, this user preferred the manual controls on the device itself. One interesting quirk worth mentioning is how the monitor behaves when powered off. It seems to fully disconnect its signal from the computer, which can cause a multi-screen setup to reconfigure itself. The reviewer initially thought the unit was broken, but has since adapted. Their workaround is to simply lock the PC and let the screen time out, rather than pressing the power button. This keeps the connection stable and has the added benefit of leaving the rear ambient lighting on, which they find comforting. Ultimately, this client finds it hard to say anything negative about this monitor. They acknowledge it is a significant investment, but for those who can afford it, they believe it is one of the best purchases they have made and a dream come true for their gaming setup.
Wonderful. Now, let's explore the feedback from our next reviewer.
This reviewer was in the market for a gaming monitor with a high refresh rate and faced the common challenge of navigating the numerous options available within a certain price range. The goal was a G-Sync Ultra display, but budget constraints led to considering G-Sync compatible models. Ultimately, the deciding factors for choosing this particular monitor were its color accuracy, refresh rate 180 Hz via DisplayPort, 100 Hz via HDMI, and the integrated KVM functionality. This client installed the monitor on their wife's desk, replacing an older ultra-wide display. The KVM feature was crucial for streamlining the setup, allowing their wife to connect her work laptop via USB-C for keyboard, mouse, video, and USB connectivity. Generally, it performs well and serves its intended purpose, although our reviewer noticed a few minor drawbacks. Firstly, the HDR settings tend to be overly saturated, especially with reds and oranges. Adjusting the Windows HDR slider helps mitigate this, but the effect can still be quite pronounced. Secondly, the KVM requires manual switching of USB control between USB-B and Type-C each time, which wasn't explicitly mentioned in the manual. While not a deal-breaker, it lacks the automatic switching found in some other KVM-equipped monitors. Thirdly, the monitor only offers 2 USB ports, which feels somewhat limiting considering its price point. The screen quality and picture are impressive, and this client is enjoying gaming at 180 Hz. The upgrade wasn't as dramatically different as anticipated, but that may be subjective. The reviewer also notes an odd issue with their wife's HP ZBook when connected via USB-C. The screen momentarily goes black when opening emails in Outlook. This seems to be a laptop-specific problem, as it doesn't occur when connected via HDMI. Finally, our reviewer concludes that if the KVM is your main requirement and you don't need the high refresh rate, then Dell monitors should be a better option.
Appreciate you watching. If this video helped, like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts below. See you soon.